The class 7, we are going to start chapter 2 question answers. We have completed the chapter. Now let us start the question answers. So the name of the chapter 2 of geography is the interior of the earth. So in the chapter we have discussed about the different layers of the earth, then different types of rocks, the uses of rocks. So let us start the question answers. First question, these are exercise questions. First question, what are the 3 layers of the earth? And the answer, we will start with the introductory line. 3 layers of the earth are first crust, second mantle, third core. So you are to write and in the way as I have written here, number 1, 2, 3. Okay, so crust outermost or the topmost layer, then the middle layer is mantle and the innermost layer is core. Second question, what is a rock? So define a mass of mineral matter that makes up the crust of the earth is called rock. So what is a rock? It's a mineral matter. Any mineral that makes up the earth's crust, that is called a rock. Third, name 3 types of rocks. So here we are to write the names only. 3 types of rocks are first igneous rocks. Igneous we have discussed in the chapter from the word igneous, which means fire. Sedimentary rocks, from sedimentum means parts, particles or fragments. Then metamorphic rocks, from the word metamorphose means change in form. So we have 3 types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Next question, how are extrusive and intrusive rocks formed? First, extrusive, when magma during the volcanic eruption, I'm talking about first, when magma comes out on the surface of the earth, it cools down and turns into solid rocks. Such rocks are termed as extrusive rocks. So what are extrusive rocks? When the molten magma comes on the earth's surface, it cools down and becomes solid and forms rocks. And the rocks formed in this way are called extrusive igneous rocks. And examples, basalt. Next, intrusive. When the molten magma cools down within the interior of the earth, it becomes solid to form intrusive rocks. So what are intrusive rocks? When the molten magma cools down in the interior of the earth and becomes solid and forms rocks. The rocks formed in such a way are called intrusive igneous rocks. Why these are called intrusive? As these are formed in the interior of the earth. Example, granite, gabbro. Next question. What do you mean by a rock cycle? Rock cycle. See, igneous rocks change into sedimentary rocks. Then igneous and sedimentary rocks under great heat and pressure change into metamorphic rocks. I think this is clear. Then metamorphic rocks again changes into igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks due to melting or wearing down. This process is called the rock cycle. So what is rock cycle? Igneous rocks change into sedimentary rocks. Igneous and sedimentary, both types of rocks change into metamorphic rocks under great heat and pressure. Then again, metamorphic rocks melts down under great pressure and heat and thus comes out on the earth's surface in the form of molten magma and form igneous rocks. Again this process starts. So this is called rock cycle. Next question, what are the uses of the rocks? So we use rocks in our day-to-day life for various purposes. So what are the uses? See, hard rocks are used in making buildings. Houses and buildings are built of rocks, like the house in which you live. Stones, slates, granite, marble, etc. are used. Then some stones are used in numerous games like seven stapu stones, pitu you call it, then hopscotch, stapu, then five gitti, and these is generally the girls in rural areas, they used to play this five stones game. And rocks are used in making statues also, and some of the rocks are used in making talcum powder. So the rocks are used for various purposes in our day-to-day life, for road construction, buildings. So everywhere we find rocks. Next, what are metamorphic rocks? Again, in the previous question number 5, we have discussed about rock cycle. There we see, when under great heat and pressure, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks change their form. We have discussed that metamorphose means change in form. So under great heat and pressure, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks change their form and turned into more precious rocks, which are known as metamorphic rocks. So what are metamorphic rocks? I think this is understood. Under great heat and pressure, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks changed their form and turned into more precious rocks called metamorphic rocks. I think this is understood. Hanji beta. The example, we have discussed 2 examples in our chapter, that clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. These are some other examples, but in our chapter we have discussed that clay changes into slate and marble in limestone into marble. So I think there is no query regarding any of the questions now. So I'll attach this PDF along with the video, and if you have any query, you can ask me in the in the chapter, your class. So these are exercise questions, and some extra questions also we will do in the next video. But see, as far as this rock cycle is concerned, you can write here in your own words also. Rock cycle, that igneous rocks change into sedimentary rocks, then igneous and sedimentary rocks, or you can write under great heat and pressure, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks change into metamorphic rocks. The next point, metamorphic rocks melts down under great heat and pressure and thus forms the molten magma. This molten magma comes on the earth to form igneous rocks, then sedimentary rocks, and again metamorphic rocks. And in this way, this rock cycle continues. So this is rock cycle. This is a very easy term which you people can understand when you read it properly. And I think all other questions are easy. A little bit difficulty I think you may have in this question only, so you can write it in your own words. And as far as the uses of rocks, these you can write as many uses as you can from your surroundings, even that where you are using rocks. Some general points also you people can write. Yeah. Okay, so the question one more here, that is question number 4, extrusive and intrusive igneous rocks. So extrusive, which are formed outside, or you can say on the surface of the earth, and intrusive, which are formed in the interior or interior of the earth. Okay, so I think this is all, and if you have any question or query, discuss with me in the class. Have a nice day.